Today, and welcome back to the start of another new and exciting year. I think we're off to a great start this year. I do. The weather's been cooperative. How does everybody feel about graduation in the Grove this year? What's the straw poll?
Yes.
I hear one yes and a million no's. Two yeses. All right. Okay. Well. Let me just put a pin in that one, and we'll come back to it. Lots to get to today, so we're going to kind of change the format of this around a little bit, and instead of just me blathering on for a while, we're going to hear from our lovely cabinet. We're going to take turns and go quickly, and then we're going to pause at the end for questions that you have. You're going to ask questions during the individual cabinet. Try to save it to the end so we can just get through all our updates. We only have, 50 minutes? So let's do that. And know that tomorrow I'll have open office hours again, and we'll send this out. Tomorrow? Sorry. Yeah, I'll be here. You won't? Next week. Next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and next Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Outside or inside, inside the Winchester Center near the fireplace. So next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And if you can't meet those times, you want to meet outside of that, just let Peggy know. We'll find a time. But okay, I want to start with our new hires. Now I'm going to let the cabinet officers introduce people in their areas. I think that's most appropriate. But I want to introduce a couple folks that you may or may not be acquainted with that joined us recently on cabinet. One is Jason Bottoni. Jason, want to stand up there? There you go. Yeah. Jason comes from a long and illustrious career in athletics and development, most recently at Sweetbriar College, and is already off to a terrific start. We're so lucky to have him here. Wonderful. And then he can talk about Dr. Moore and other folks in his area. We made a new hire. Her name is Lindsay Wilson, not the university. This is a person. And she'll be joining us on October 1st is her first day. She's our new Vice President of External Relations, so our new development officer. And she has massive experience in development, most recently at Florida State. So she relocated, her family relocated to Indiana, and I think it's just a tremendous hire and greatly needed, and I think you'll all be impressed. So I want to start with some recaps from the June board meeting, and then I want to progress really quickly through a couple other things. I'm really not going to try to suck the air out of the room with this, but to say that we had a good June meeting. We have done as much sort of forecasting as possible into that budget at that time, looking out at the FY26 budget, where we were, where we were going. We forecasted a slight deficit, $498,000, which we were able to request an additional draw from the endowment for that amount, which was approved and inserted into our accounts, which certainly helped. The rest of the meeting was focused on what's working, what's not working, trying to problematize and not just report out. So we changed the format and the strategy of our board meetings. We talked a lot about the strategic plan. The strategic plan will be just inserted in every single board session. And the campus master plan. Now we're not ready yet with our the concept drawings. We're going to roll those out in the October session. So do we have the meeting date for October? 12th. We'll we'll send out another invite. So we'll have the concept drawings for that, but Scott may or may not say anything about that, but a massive movement on that front. We're really excited, and that is, that's going to help in a lot of different areas. So we're pressing forward and making tremendous progress. Progress a little faster than I thought we would. I'm generally an optimistic person. So The capital campaign, I don't know what you know of the capital campaign, or if you've been wondering about where we are with the capital campaign. So the Generations campaign was rolled out initially back in 22 and has been in the kind of quiet phases. It's still quiet, but it's growing a little louder. Or, no, it's corny. It was really just kind of in a holding pattern, but we used the June meeting to give it new life and reassess the numbers, get the numbers on firm footing, and we feel great about the progress. And so I think we're right on track. We forecast our next October as the start of the public phase. So that pretty much aligns with where we started with. It's a little delayed, but that's grown. So the original assumption was a $30 million campaign, and that's grown to $40 million. Inflation, the costs of things that we need on campus has grown, and we're committed to that number, and we feel great about the ability to meet that goal. I'll stop there, and I just wanted to say a few things about the fall enrollment snapshot. Now, we don't have the financials finished this year. I will say there is a lot that goes into a college budget, as you can imagine. Outside of the depreciation and the default rate, obviously discount rate, the number of students, the housing number, there's numbers that are up and down, and we had some pretty extravagant gifts that were donated to the college this summer. The hailstorm worked in the college's advantage. Stephanie, I don't know if you want to say anything about that, or Scott, but we came out ahead in the hailstorm. I know a lot of our students were impacted, and cars were totaled. It was bad news for most of the town, but the college financially came out ahead. So down in some areas, up in other areas, the discount rate, our progress towards bringing that down gradually over time has made great strides there. Our endowment is at a historic high, and that has nothing to do with me or us. It's just the market, where the market is, and also some pretty great gifts that we've received recently, which is a bright spot. But I will say, I do want to give a shout out to Molly and Stephanie for all their work this past year in clawing back operating expenses, and to the tune of $719,000, which is nothing to sneeze at. And that is, elongating depreciation schedules, deaccessioning ghost assets, all sorts of, things that you don't think about, but that make a dramatic impact on the bottom line. And that's all extremely helpful in reducing the pressure on the college's budget. So the fall enrollment snapshot numbers were down from their forecast, and that's not a huge surprise. There's tremendous variance in where we think the numbers are going to land and where they do. The college has just started, so my concern coming into this year was, the concern that I think we've always had, that we continue we haven't marketed effectively the college's position. That's changed, and so the fall 26 class is where this really, and we started that process. Matt's not here, but Matt has his numbers for Dr. Jermick. We started that process when we should have. We're moving deadlines where they should be. The college is positioning itself where it should have been, in other words. And we're aligned and we're committed to that vision that says that if we do things the way they should have been done, we'll be in really good shape. We want to, number one, not let our costs overrun our revenues. So no matter how much revenue we bring in, we're bringing in different streams of revenue. Our auxiliary revenue, rental facilities, that's increasing significantly. We have a graduate program now that can bring in additional revenue. Dual enrollment and online programs. We don't want to let our expenses overrun our revenues, but we are committed to a campus where we attract students, not based on how we're different, but how we're distinct in the marketplace, how we're distinct academically, athletically, and I'll say physically, how our campus represents something new and different and changed. And we'll be able to bring that about in short order. We need a little runway. So we want to measure, we want to manage expectations, but we want to stay positive and we want to stay forward-looking. We're not in a position where we can cut expenses anymore. There are certain barriers to competition in the higher education marketplace that we have to be attuned to. And so we are committed to the marks of distinction and also to what I talked about in February, which is our core competency, which is our residential liberal arts experience. And that's built in a large part by our innovation and doing the things that we should have been doing all along, not just in marketing, as I mentioned, or development, but in the graduate program space, and online, and dual enrollment, and all these other areas. So we're making daily incremental progress in each of this. We need a little bit more time, need a little bit more runway, and we have some excellent short-term, some pretty innovative ideas to get us over that hump and get us rolling. But we'll bring you up to speed with these as we go throughout the day and then throughout today's session. So, I want to kick things off with Dr. Jermick, who's going to give us an update from Academic Affairs. And you'll recognize him from The Elephant Man. I wanted to say thank you for a wonderful performance yesterday. And he stole the show with that stage trip at the end.
Yeah, the sound took it pretty bad there. Can people hear me? Can you hear me all right? Yeah, both the people at the show last night seemed to enjoy it. Which was, actually, there were more than that. Thanks for coming. It was a fun show. And Nate, thanks. He's here somewhere. Thanks for inviting me. We have new people. I left the sheet on my desk. In Academic Affairs, faculty and staff, could you just stand up for me now? Everyone, all the new people, and briefly introduce yourself. Let's start over here with Natalie.
I'm Natalie Rouse, I'm the choir director, and I'm also helping Margaret in the registrar.
Hello, Zachary Smith. I'm with Online Admissions.
I'm Danielle Solano. I'm the new assistant professor of American Civics, and I'll be running the American Civics Institute.
Katie, that's right, elementary education.
And is Sarah here? Sarah Brown? Sarah was hired kind of quietly at the end of last term for a role that we shifted her out of that role. You all know Sarah Brown probably. Right, we had some turnover. That role that she was hired for was basically put on hold, and she's been put into my office. So she is admin extraordinaire for Academic Affairs now, if you're not aware of that. Doing a fantastic job over a while. We also have Vicki Howe, who is in education. She's also new, who's not able to be here today. Am I forgetting anyone? Oh, Anna DeLong in chemistry is also a new chemist we have in Deanna Long.
Tim. And Tim is also.
Oh, and Tim. Where's Tim? Oh, Tim. Oh, we got all sorts of people, and they're physicists. So that's our crew. Obviously, the faculty have all met them, but please, if you run into them, welcome them to campus. Very briefly, I'm going to try to describe, among a host of initiatives, the sort of principal initiative that the faculty have been discussing for almost a year now. And so I'm going to try to condense about 100 man-hours of individual and group discussion into 3 minutes. The faculty is considering, this is a sort of large sort of material kind of question before the faculty, the shift of the academic program from what's a 3-credit base model program to a 4-credit base model program. Okay? That means that the curriculum of the institution will in large part be revised. That is those 3-credit classes and even some 4-credit classes into a new catalog where the 3-credit classes go away and the classes become 4 credits. The vote on that might even happen on Monday. Okay? The implications for the rest of the institution are not nearly as extraordinary as they are for the academic program. This will require a heavy lift of the faculty. You don't just take the classes on the books and add credit to it, right? You're redoing your whole catalog, essentially. The idea is that if they choose to move down this path, it will be implemented in fall of 27. It will change the class schedule, and so that will obviously affect athletic programming and other co-curricular programming. But this is, I want people to know a couple things, questions you might have. It does not change the number of credits you need to graduate from the college. That's 120, that doesn't change. Okay? It does reduce the number of classes you need to take to graduate from the college. And part of this, among a host of things, that of intended outcomes is greater efficiency within the overall academic curriculum, and an opportunity to sort of revisit what we're doing, and the faculty, many of whom have received mini grants or initial sort of workshops and training, are encouraged to use that extracurricular space to lean into engaged active learning practices, new pedagogical practices that the evidence clearly show increased rates of student learning and success. So we're excited about this. Okay? And again, it won't just so you should also know this, right? It's not the majority model in the higher education space, but the 4-credit model is common enough, especially in the small college space, that we're not reinventing really anything. We're kind of looking at the model, what that model offers, and seeing largely the upside, I think, of leaning into that model, create a greater opportunity for relationship-rich learning and an emphasis on depth of learning and practice, marginally over breadth of learning and practice. Okay? I guess we're not taking questions, but that's the update for me. Thank you all very much. Appreciate you.
Hi, everybody. I had to make a list. New people in our office, we have Mr. Trevor Polson as the Director of Student Involvement and Orientation. Go ahead and stand up, Trevor. He's doing a great job with orientation and working through our student events, SAPB. He's really trying to bring back some excitement around Greek life. So if you can encourage the students to check out Greek life. If the decision in the end is that they don't want to do it, that's okay. But Greek Recruitment Week starts next week. So just encourage them to check it out. It might be something worth their while and something that they want to do. And then also, you may know Carson Steele because he works with the football team. He also came on as a residence director for us in People's Hall. So we're excited to have him with us as well. Currently, the students may be disgruntled because it is housing consolidation time. If the students are upset about housing, please tell them to come see us. We're nice people, we'll work it out, it'll be fine. But they are stressed about their roommates. We did have some folks leave housing before move-in, and so some students who thought they were going to have a roommate did not, and now they have to find somebody. We are hosting a mixer for all the people who are single, if you will, in their rooms to find a person. So please encourage them to attend it. Some students legitimately are very anxious about that, so if you come across a student who is, please send them to our office. We don't want it to be a scary thing, we want to help them, but that might be something that's going on with them right now. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but we have new baristas working in the Starbucks area. They are Starbucks trained. They have a lot of flavors for drinks. They're making up their own drinks. It's a really good time, so they want you to stop by, tell them what you like, tell them what you don't like, and have a Starbucks drink. And then $5 Fridays are back in the dining hall. So, lunch is $5 and breakfast is $5. Go visit the dining hall. Chef Jimmy is back. He's doing a lot of great things in there. Again, he's open to comments as well. What you like, what you don't like, what you're hearing from the students, because sometimes they don't tell us. So we're excited to have him back. And that's what we're looking at right now, Greek recruitment and housing consolidation. So let us know if your students need anything. Thank you.
Okay, so from human resources, the one thing I want to update everyone on is open enrollment insurance. So a couple weeks ago, we had the open enrollment sessions for it to start September 1st. So I'm happy to announce that our group numbers are set up for our new dental and vision. So later today, I'll be sending out information on how to set up the portal for individuals if you enroll. And then if you had medical and kept it, your insurance cards should still work. So the other thing too is for the dental and vision, since they're new providers, they will be mailing you the new insurance cards, but you'll also have access on the portal. So we're making really good progress. We're on track. It usually takes about 3 weeks. So we're right at the second week and they're getting it all done. So yeah, that's what we have right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to start off with introducing our new Director of Alumni Engagement, Scott Sims. If you'll stand up. Scott came and he's been a great addition to the office. And we also have Shiloh Young, who joined our office as the Philanthropy Director. Shiloh doesn't
Stand up, Shiloh.
We're looking forward to having Lindsay join us October 1st and having a full team again for a while. And, you know, we're just excited to have that. Our annual fund. So what you see behind me on the screen is our new theme for the annual fund, and it's Paving the Wesleyan Way. Every dollar that's given to the annual fund lays another brick, paving the Wesleyan way for the students as they discover their futures. So we're trying to find something that would kind of go along with the student life theme of finding your Wesleyan way. And so this will be our theme this year as we're trying to raise money for the unrestricted fund. Going along with that as well, we also are instituting a new giving day in the spring, which is just for the Wesleyan Scholarship Fund. We're still going to have Giving Tuesday, and as usual, that is a fundraising day for everything that has to do with campus, but on March 31st, we're going to have a special day just dedicated to raising for the unrestricted. Our unrestricted goal this year is $800,000, and as of today, we're at $254,161. So we're at 32% of goal, which is ahead of where we were last year and the year before that. So we're really encouraged by that. And our total raised to date is $463,109. Dr. Cousins talked about the comprehensive campaign and gave you all an update on the fact that we started that back up again this summer. But just so that you all know kind of where we stand on that, we are at $8,804,126 raised. Now, it's important to understand that most of that money is designated for specific purposes. It's not just to be spent on college budget. And also the other part that's important to know is that a lot of that is also deferred. So some of that won't come to us until a person passes. It's part of their estate. So a little over $3 million of that are in deferred gifts. We have Homecoming and Family Weekend coming up. We got the weekend of October 3rd through 5th. The full lineup is on our website, but we've got some awesome things planned for it, including the release of the second Kentucky Wesleyan Bourbon Bottle, which will be available Saturday morning on Homecoming. And it's going to feature the panther head on it this time. And also new to Homecoming is the Magnuson Lecture Series. So we're bringing that in and making it part of Homecoming. So I hope that you all will look at the full lineup and come out for some of those. We have some other cool upcoming events, including Kingland, Wesleyan Day at Kingland on October 19th. And hopefully you all will make plans to do that and just look at all the events that we have coming up. Career engagement, our Leadership Wesleyan Fall Conference kicks off on Friday, September 26th. And we also have a career internship and grad school fair on October the 28th. So just want to get those on your radar. Our next issue of Lucerna is going to be coming out in October. And the fall issue of Pillars Magazine will be coming out later in the fall as well, either late October or early November. And of course, Kelly has kept herself very busy. She's got lots of areas of needs for campus, and she's working with lots of funders on grants. So we're busy, but we're accomplishing a lot, and we're proud of what we've got going. That's all I've got. Thank you.
I've never been one to need a microphone, so just bear with me. I don't know if y'all noticed this summer, but we had a lot of roofing people on campus. And Peggy turns nails into me every day, because I think you had 2 sets of dollars? Just one. Okay. The roofing is complete. Happy to report that. As Dr. Cousins shared, we did come in better than we thought with the insurance settlement and so forth, but we're not finished. We're still dealing with HVAC systems, and we have a meeting on Tuesday of next week with the insurance adjuster as well as the roofing people to try to get through this and move on. They're saying some need to be repaired, while we're saying they need to be replaced. So we've got Lonnie Nave, our HVAC person, inspecting every unit on campus. You wouldn't believe how many are on top. Take an aerial view and look at every top of every building. They actually missed 4 on the HRC because there's 2 levels. They didn't do the top level when they were here for their original inspection, so we're still doing some of that as well. But hopefully we can wrap this up within the next few weeks. We'll have a number to share that we're better off than we thought. But that's been quite an ordeal. We got a lot of grief from local roofers because we outsourced with Houston, Texas, with Stellar. But I'll tell you what, I don't think we could have done any better. They have represented us in every situation we've had with the insurance adjusters. They're professionals. They've done every kind of roof imaginable. Every roof on campus has a different kind of roof. They're flat, they're slanted. This one had slate on it. The slate is now gone. We no longer have any slate roofs on campus. So we're glad that people can walk without worrying that something might fall upon their head. So that's a good thing. Okay, I want to make a plea to our faculty and staff. Reserving space on campus. We've been in session for about 3 weeks, and that's the biggest headache we've had so far. People are not reserving space as they should. They just assume it's going to be available. They go in there, there's a meeting in that room or whatever might be going on. We have an Outlook system where you go through and you reserve. You turn in your setup so facilities knows how you need the room. So make sure when you do have an event. Now that's only a year in advance. So if you've got something planned 3 years ahead, we can't schedule that yet. Because the software only allows you to do 1 year at a time. So once it hits that year, get it on the books, okay? But make sure we have it. First come, first serve. We are very popular with the Owensboro-Davis County community using our campus. We must be too cheap because they like to use us. So we've got a lot of different events. We were able to generate over $100,000 of revenue this past year with our external events and so forth. So now half of that was the Phantom Regiment. And they are returning next year. There was an article out saying that they were going to stay back home. I've confirmed it with them. They said this is where they want to be. So we're excited about that. James is not, but we are. He gets to hear it outside of his bedroom. Okay. He mentioned the campus master plan. Like I said, we're in the solid phase of that right now because we're meeting regularly with the groups that are involved. ASD Sky is our development group. The Harper group is representing us with that. But there are 3 phases that we've been through. The ramp-up phase, which is the kickoff, the design phase, which we're excited to share the renderings to the campus of what we're looking at. And we just entered the marketing phase, which means we've hired a broker to go out to different companies to recruit them to campus. We've got 2 really exciting prospects already, and there's a few other that we mentioned. So we are moving forward, and it's really going to transform our campus. It really is. Last thing, started last February, the HRC bleachers. Jordan's been with us the whole time through. Working with them to get the old bleachers out when we had camps, getting the new bleachers in a timely manner so we don't miss any home volleyball matches. Volleyball has their first match on the 20th. They will be complete by then. They're making great progress. If you get a chance, go by the HRC. Look at them. There's only 500 new seats there. They're purple, not orange, which is a nice addition to our campus. So we're excited about the progress being made there. It really has made the gym come alive. It really looks cool. Okay? That's all I have. Thank you. Matt's not here.
Good afternoon. I just want to talk a little bit about our enrollment numbers for just a second. Our fiscal year started off strong with summer 2. Our goal was to enroll 66 credit hours, and census was 115 credit hours. So we started off well for summer. Fall 1, our goal was a stretch goal of 1,110 credit hours for students to be registered for online. It was a stretch. We set census at 646 credit hours. So a little short, but we're still working towards fall 2. So fall 2, our original goal was 965 credit hours. Stephanie and I had a conversation. She kindly adjusted that down to 649, and we're at 627, so yay. But obviously we'll keep working towards the 965. In our quest for 965 is Zachary Smith. Zachary just joined us on July 30th as a new online admissions counselor, and he's already attended a couple of transfer fairs and career fairs, and he has many more on the books for this semester. We're going to also continue running ads on Instagram, Facebook, and for those of you that like to show off your skills, TikTok. Our next steps for online, we're going to continue to add a few new programs. I know we added a lot last year. There's still a couple more that we would like to add and some new ones to bring on. And then our main priority is to find a way to increase the top of the enrollment funnel to gather more applications to lead to more deposits.
Good afternoon, all. How are we doing? I see a few smiles. I see a few people watching the clock. I see you. First thing I'd like you to do is please get out your cell phones. I'm going to give you permission to take your cell phone out. So take your cell phone out. I'm going to give you my contact number. Ready? 270-314-8649. 270-314-8649. So if you need anything, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, now you can reach me. Now, I'm not going to guarantee you that I'm going to answer. No, I'm joking. That'll defeat the point. I do want to introduce a few folks to you. We've got a few that are out traveling today with their teams. But with us is Dr. Darlene Moore. Dr. Moore, if you would stand, please. She's our new Assistant AD for Compliance, Student Services, and Sports Administration, and our Senior Women Administrator. Darlene's business card is this long. She comes to us from Texas Women's College, and we are grateful to have you. Thank you, Darlene. Jacob Lawrence, please stand. Jacob is our new head wrestling coach, and he comes to us from William Woods University. Happy to have you, Jacob. And our other new hire is currently with his team on the road today, and that's Teddy Morris, and he is our new head men's and women's tennis coach. So those are our 3 new additions to the staff this year. I do want to give a shout out to Ken Badalak, who oversees our SAC, Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and give you an update on what SAC did last year. 2024-25 season raised over $5,000 for Make-A-Wish and did 3,700 hours of community service. And now, over the time, last 3 academic years, SAC has raised over $30,000 for Make-A-Wish. So they do a fantastic job, and we're very, very excited that they'll be doing that again this year. They've had a good community engagement sharers, including Jordan Simpkins, who's here with us. You can stand and smile and wave. Ray McConnell and Avery Shackle. So there's your SAC update. In terms of on-campus updates, if you're around and available tonight at 6 o'clock, you're welcome to join us at Panther Field. Men's soccer is hosting the other school down the street. So you're welcome to please come out and greet them properly. Saturday and Sunday we'll be hosting the 2A soccer championships on campus. And then Sunday afternoon also hosting soccer at noon and 2 with our men's and women's teams. So come on out. I hear the temperature's going to be perfect. So wonderful fall day. A couple updates in terms of on-campus activities as well. Beginning next week, we're going to be hosting season ticket drive sales for basketball with some suggestion and help from our basketball program. We're moving that on campus this year and hopefully get some more folks to come. They get a chance to meet the student athletes, they get a chance to meet the coaches, they get a chance to see the renovations that are taking place at the gym. So that's a new initiative that we have this year that we're excited about. Football season tickets are still on sale, so you're welcome to purchase those anytime you like, or at least pass those along to friends. We'd love to have you come out. Debbie Club is back up and running. It's our fundraising arm. We've reconfigured it a little bit to allow for a little bit more fan engagement, give an opportunity to donate to specific teams and projects. And if anyone would like to make a donation, you can do that at kwcpanthers.com. Click on Make a Gift. That's really all I have. You all have been very welcoming to me in the first 3 months. I appreciate that. I kind of consider my goals here, to support our student athletes by meeting their needs, doing the same for our staff while empowering them. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or ideas on how I can do my job a little better, I'm welcome to hear you. So thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. I have one new hire, Sierra. Would you stand up? Sierra is our new staff accountant. We are slowly but surely rebuilding our team in the business office. Sierra has been with us since July and came right in the middle of our audit, bless her heart. And she is learning quickly and doing a wonderful job for us. Our financial audit is complete. We came out favorable due to the insurance. Our composite score was a 1.9, so so thank you, March Hailstorm, we appreciate you. But it has given us a lot of other work. Molly, kudos to you for all of your insurance work, I really appreciate it. We are, as Scott said, we are still working through insurance. It has been a learning experience for us. And I know a lot more about insurance than I ever thought I wanted to. We are working through the fall forecast, as Dr. Cousins mentioned. We are hopefully going to have that middle of next week to get out to our finance committee and review those numbers with them ahead of board. What we are looking for from the community is feedback as to how we can improve different things in the business offices. And, Prospero, we are looking, we're in the discovery phases right now of possibly moving away from our current accounting system. It is going to be sunsetting on us. It's never been a nonprofit higher education software for us, so we are looking to implement something that will streamline a lot of processes across campus. So we are in discovery phases for that, so that we can produce more timely reports, transparency for everyone, so that we can build strategically instead of just at the moment getting things out to people. One thing I would ask the campus community is to continue your timely and accurate reporting and looking at Prospero. If you have any questions with those, please reach out to us. We are here to help. We will go over accounts. We're here to serve you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
So say it wasn't the fact that Phantom Enrichment was here, it was those 3 notes that they played over and over again. All right, so questions? Text is do we accept this?
This person asked, since we paid our dental and vision and for the new staff and faculty health insurance, did not have access to it, can we be expecting a refund for the amount paid upon a second week paycheck?
Paul?
I do.
Yes, I do understand that, so, if you can let me know maybe who that is, I'll have to check into that. Because the premiums only started effective September 1st,
We didn't have access.
so. Okay.
That issue is someone who uses their benefits between September 1st and now have access to do so.
With the account, the group numbers and all that, let me get with the broker and see, there may be a way that they can bill it if there was an expense on that, and then I can communicate it out. So that benefit can still be used.
That's just my understanding.
Sure. So, there is a way to do that, let me get with the broker and see how that can be done.
So that's, I mean, that's a question that I have, because I had 2 appointments I had to cancel this past 10, 12 days because we didn't have the ID numbers.
Sure.
So are you saying now that like, there is a way we can go about doing that? You know, getting rid of, like, I don't want to pay something out of pocket if I already have insurance.
Exactly. Let me get with, yes, let me double check with our broker on that and then see if there is. Because that's why I was pushing for the insurance cards to be available as soon as possible. I've checked with them daily, and so they're just telling me it takes about 3 weeks to get them all processed with new vendors and new providers. So let me check with the broker for that piece, and then I'll get some information back out.
Wouldn't that have been good information to us to know, like starting September 1st?
It's great feedback. Yes. Thank you. I mean, that is good feedback. I appreciate that.
Good question. Question for Stephanie. You mentioned Prospero. If we need help with that, are you still the person to go to?
I am.
Okay. Sure. Thanks.
James, can you share what the discount rate is trending right now? That there is.
Where's Crystal? Is Crystal here? Crystal, what's the discount rate trending?
Right at
64%. So that's down from 68% last year. And every point on the discount rate represents approximately $250,000 in net tuition revenue. They're hard fought, and the coaches and Crystal and your team, Mike and John, phenomenal work. It takes a lot of effort to bring that down. We were trending in this direction, and now we're stabilizing and bringing it down. And it takes a lot of work. Okay, yeah.
You mentioned that if you had the same home insurance as last year, you can use it. Once you're a new hire, are we able to access our old health insurance yet? Not dental vision, but the regular benefits.
Maybe just an overall statement on health insurance, the fact we're covered.
Okay, so for new hires, yes, that did start September 1st. Again, that's the same thing. They're mailing out the insurance cards. So there is a way to, they have a portal as well to where you can get an electronic copy for that. So that should have been in the open enrollment or new hire stuff. If it's not, let me know, and then I can send that to you so you can get set up and at least get a copy of that insurance card before the official mailed copy comes.
Can you just send that to everybody?
Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. It's kind of more of a request because there have been a lot of big changes over the summer. I mean, you know, changing from monthly to bi-weekly, changing re-enrolling for all of our insurance, changing the way PTO is counted to where people had 2 months where they couldn't access their PTO. There's a lot of these big changes that are, you know, have real effects on people, and it's been pretty difficult to get information about them. So I have a request, which is just how can we get some more transparency about some of these changes so that people aren't trying to talk to everybody, do you know what's going on? Do you know what's going on? I mean,
Yeah, summer's a hard time to make changes, and we try to avoid that if at all possible, for sure. But I'll say the counterpoint to that, Dr. Starkey, is that there was a tidal wave of requests to switch to bi-weekly or bi-monthly. Tidal wave of folks. Yeah, right. So, and then if the timing works out, if the timing works out to where it hits, like we can do this in May, there isn't a great deal of time to workshop it. There isn't. And then so that you wait 4 or 5 months. Now PTO is another matter. And so lengthening it out again, just, great demand on more flexibility in PTO, and supervisors are worked with folks to make sure everybody gets as much PTO, erring on the side of caution there too. So in some cases, I think some additional PTO potentially, but making sure everybody gets what's owed to them. But this should be for their benefit. Communication, absolutely an issue. Rolling something out over the summer, no argument there whatsoever. I'll say that both of those instances, and then the insurance, of course, did not foresee the kerfluffle that's going on right now. We are all fully insured. The cards is another matter, and that's the issue that we have to work through right now. Absolutely regrettable. The college made out better overall in the long run. This is a really frustrating period, and I'm part of this as everybody else is. It works out to the financial benefit for the college, and it stabilizes our rate over a number of years. So we had to make that change quickly to lock it in, or otherwise the rates were like this. So we had to lock those in quickly without a lot of time to confab, and I'm sure you get that. All three of those things lined up together look suspicious. I'm with you. But, and we, and I didn't, I don't love to have this conversation, like, well, what's going on, you're making changes, and no input or feedback or whatever else. We avoid that at all costs. It is, kind of 3 things back to back to back.
Yeah, and I'm not saying we shouldn't have made these changes. I'm not saying that they were bad or good. I'm just saying to be able to get answers to simple questions about them has been extremely difficult.
Right. Well, we can. I think we can address the insurance card issue as early as tomorrow. Just gets it out in the campus update notes too, for sure. I'm sure Paula can join me in my open office hours next week. You feel okay on that? Yeah. Do that. Tuesdays and Wednesdays she'll be there with me, so you can stop by then. And if you have any questions about your insurance, you can meet with us then. If it's all, cover my ears or go somewhere else, if it's personal. But yeah.
You just said there was a title wave of requests to go to bi-weekly. Can you clarify, I'm not asking names, obviously, but were those from faculty?
Oh, over the years, people that just couldn't align their, I've heard this for years here, frankly, that people, a once a month paycheck is not accommodating to people's budgets and when bills are due. And it's a constant refrain. We wouldn't have looked into it otherwise.
Faculty are used to that. We've done that every place we've been.
Yes, it's destroying my budget. It's not helping.
This is worse because because we're getting less per month. Except for 2 months.
So it's a 26 pay period instead of a 24.
Right.
Right. Dr. Gibson?
Yeah, I would just add to that I would have preferred an option because I would have never changed my pay for that.
And it's my impression that payroll is being run every week because hourly is paid a different week than the salary people. So why are we running payroll every week?
Why are we running payroll every week? Let's see.
Because of that almost. But we understand why it's imposed.
So, as Dr. Cousin said, the timing of when the bi-weekly or when monthly went to bi-weekly, to make sure that it was full process, it just worked out to where they're opposite weeks. So for the ones that were monthly, yes, they're on an opposite week to the hourly payroll.
what benefit does that have to the college to run that on opposite weeks?
I mean, as far as a benefit, it's not a benefit to the college, but it just worked out to where when that transition occurred, it was a full pay cycle. Otherwise, it would have been a partial pay cycle for one and then a full for another to balance it out. So it was just an easier transition to make sure that everybody had a full pay cycle on the new pay method.
All right.
Whatever happened to our staff representative, we used to have a committee that, stood up or brought things forward.
Staff council, yeah, we put that on pause and never came back to it. I think it just got lost in the vote last year. Yeah, so staff council was an innovation under President Mitzel, and would report to, for folks that don't know, would report out on kind of staff concerns, and they'd have a place at the trustee meetings, so I think we can revisit that for sure. Anything else? All right. All right, good deal. Okay, weekend full of activities. So, my office door is always open, and also, come and see me if you have any other questions. And that's Tuesday at 2 and Wednesday at 11. If you want to come and talk to me, and Paul will be close by to talk about insurance. So, thanks for coming out.